Hey guys, how you doing? It's Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free NBA basketball previews and predictions today for Saturday, March 8th. Hope you have yourself a good start to your weekend. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. All right, let's go to game number one between the Brooklyn Nets and the Charlotte Hornets. And tonight, the Charlotte Hornets is going to be a home underdog. Brooklyn, a 4.5-point road favorite. ATS forecast, this is play going to lean with the Brooklyn Nets in this one. 109 to 103, the over-under landing on 212.78. So we do like this game to go a hair over the total. Looking at the last 10 games for the Hornets, they are 1-9 straight up, 4-6 ATS, and 5-5 when it comes to the over-under. And for the Brooklyn Nets, they are 3-7 in their last 10, 5-4-1 when it comes to the point spread, and 4-6 to the under. I did have Brooklyn listed at minus 2.2 on my value index. A little bit overvalued tonight against the Charlotte Hornets at 4.5. Looking at the chance of winning this game straight up, does favor the Brooklyn Nets, winning at 67.1% compared to 32.8% for the Charlotte Hornets. And both these teams, man, they're struggling. 6-game losing streak for Brooklyn, a 9-game losing streak for the Charlotte Hornets. Their last game, a 118-117. Wow, tough defeat against the Cleveland Cavaliers, one of the best teams in the NBA. And for Brooklyn, another tough loss, 121 to 119. So it just shows you how close sometimes these teams are. So when you see a losing streak like this, you got to really look into the numbers to see if they're getting blown out or if they're really right there, right? But you can see right now the chance of covering the spread very tight at 58% for Charlotte, 57% for the Brooklyn Nets. Your Kogo on tonight's game is at 46%. And looking at the history between these two teams, whenever Brooklyn's in Charlotte, they are 8-2 straight up, 6-4 ATS, and 7 of those 10 games went under the total. Charlotte at home this year, only 9 wins on the 33 games, so they're 9-24, 16-1, 11-22-0 to the under. And for Brooklyn on the road, they are 12-20 straight up, 19-13 ATS, and also 500 on the over-under, 16-16. And looking at their road favorite record, they've only been a road favorite twice this year, and the average score is 103 to 106 for the road team. So maybe Charlotte is the play here tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. All right, let's go to the next game between the New Orleans Pelicans and the Houston Rockets. And the bookmakers have got the Rockets as an 8-point favorite. 230 is the total, and we're going to lean with the Rockets in this one. 117 to 111, the over-under, landing on 229.2. So we got them winning, but not covering the spread, as we got the Rockets winning by 6. Both teams are 5-5 straight up in their last 10. They're also 5-5 ATS, but 7 of the last 10 games for Houston have gone under the total. And looking at our line on the game tonight, I did have the Houston Rockets at minus 10.1, and the bookmakers are asking 8, so pretty close to fair market value. And the Pelicans' chance of winning this game tonight is only 21.9% compared to 67.2% for the Rockets. And we're also going to give Pelicans a 79% chance of covering the spread to 40% for the Houston Rockets. That's based on the law of average theory here at the Raymond Report. Your Kogo is the coin flip at 48%. Kogo stands for chance of game going over the total. The New Orleans Pelicans are on a 4 ATS losing streak, while the last 2 games for Houston have gone under. Whenever Houston's at home against a team below 500, they are 9-2 straight up, 7-4 ATS, and the Pelicans have yet to beat a team on the road that has a 60 or higher win percentage. They are 0-13 straight up, 2-11 ATS, so maybe Houston might be no problem here tonight against the Pelicans. And the Pelicans in Houston, last 10, 4-6 straight up, 5-5 ATS. And for some reason, the last 10 head-to-head meetings between these two teams have gone under the total, 7-3 to the under. And looking at the day's rest, they're both on 1 day's rest. And I'm just going to check to see if there's any stats and trends. Now, if you look at here, the trends, the edges, I got 3 edges to the Houston Rockets, 1 for the Pelicans, and I got 12 to the over, 7 to the under, and that's all the check marks you see right here, right? So whenever you see all these check marks, that's the edges that we have for both these teams. And anytime you got a home team coming off a game where they allowed 97 points against this year in the NBA, 14-4 to the over. Wow. All right, so I have this game landing on 229.2, so very close. But the history between these two teams I've shown to go under. I don't know, my gut, you know what? Sometimes when you do these type of shows and you see all the analytics leaning one way, and what's the old law of average, when the golden rule of sports betting, when everybody goes one way, you go the other, I think the over is where you're going to go here, and I'm going to go against the numbers here tonight. All right, the Pacers taking on the Atlanta Hawks, And the Pacers' last game was a loss to the Atlanta Hawks, so back-to-back game situation. 124-118 was the final in that one. And tonight, the Atlanta Hawks are going to be a 3-point home underdog, and 243 is the total. Now, the total in this last game, they just played, what was the total in the last game? I thought it was like 249 or something like that. Yeah, 242. Okay, so it, actually, sorry, wrong one. Let me go to all the games right here. 48. I thought it was a very high total. So the last time these two teams met was a couple nights ago, and the total was 248, and now it's down to 243. So, big difference in the mindset of the bookmaker, right? Just trying to think like the bookmaker's thinking right here. Since that game went under, so the final score in that game was 118-124. Maybe the bookmaker, that's where their adjustments came in. All right. Tonight I do have the Pacers winning 119. No, actually, I got the Atlanta Hawks winning by very close margin. 119.18 and 119.11. So we're talking like 0.7 decimal marks here. So 238.2 is my total number, and we do have it going under the total of 243. The Pacers are 6-4 straight up in the last 10 ATS as well. 5-5 when it comes to the over. And the Hawks 4-6 straight up, and 8 of their last 10 basketball games have gone over the total. I did have the Pacers listed at minus 5.08 on my value index, and you can see that they're a little bit undervalued tonight at minus 3. Kogel's at 45%. Kogel stands for chance of game going over the total, and just looking at the edges, 2-2. And then I got 17 to the over, 3 to the under. So I kind of like the over in this one. I know last game went under. I think this one here might go over the total here tonight, and I'm going to play the over between the Hawks and the Pacers tonight. And let me see what the record is at home for Atlanta to the over. Yeah, look at that. 21-9 to the over. Give me the over tonight between the Pacers and the Atlanta Hawks. All right, let's go to Washington against the Toronto Raptors. Watched that game last night. The Raptors whipped out the old logo, the old uniforms. Look really good. They had the old court too. The thing I liked about that last night, look at the court for Toronto. It was like a 1995 type court with the old, the dinosaur logo. So it was really cool. Minus 3.5 is the line. 223 is the total. And tonight we're gonna lean with the Washington Wizards as the Toronto Raptors as 114-109. The over/under at 3.5 is. Let me try that again here. 3.5 is the total. The side. 223 is the total. And we're gonna go 114-109. The over/under landing on 224.64. There we go. Must be the weekend or something, right? So we do have this game going over the total. And we got the Raptors winning by 5 tonight. But Toronto playing, was it 3 games in 4 nights? No, back-to-back game situations. It's gonna be a tough situation when the Toronto Raptors are in a back-to-back game situation. I wonder if I got their record right here in back-to-back game situation. You know what I'll do? Let me go to my database, because now I'm curious, right? So I'm going to go Super Database. I'm going to go to the NBA, and I want to see how the Toronto Raptors do in back-to-back game situations at home. So whenever they're at home and they're in a back-to-back game situation, and let's see what the old survey says. 2-2 this year, but 4-0 to the over. Okay, so there you go. That's why you do it. Let me see overall about home or away. Let's see if we have an edge right here. And this is live handicapping as we go. 7-4 to the over, 2-9 straight up. So the Raptors 2-9 in back-to-back game situations overall, not just home or away. But I think the over is where you want to lean in this one. Toronto 20-13 to the over at home this year. I know last night's game went under, so kind of a law of average play here. And when you look at the Washington Wizards, they don't do well in Toronto. 1-9 straight up, 4-4-2 ATS. And the Toronto Raptors against the Washington Wizards last 10 games, 8-2 straight up, 7-2-1 against the number, and 4-6 to the under. And I'm just taking a look at some of the under here. Anytime you got an NBA team playing in back-to-back games and they're a 3.5 to 6 point home favorite, 15-8-1 to the over. After all that, give me the over between the Washington Wizards and the Toronto Raptors. Felt like 20-minute handicapping right there. All right, the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Orlando Magic. The Bucks are going to be a 6.5 point favorite. 218 is the total. We're going to lean with the Magic as an upset. Look at that. 111-110, the over-under at 222.36. So we do like this game to fly over the total. Looking at the Magic, last 10 games, 3-7 straight up, 4-6 ATS, 6-4 to the over. While the Milwaukee Bucks are 8-2, 7-3 ATS, and 5-5 when it comes to the over-under. Minus 9.5 is my line on tonight's game between the Bucks and the Orlando Magic. The bookmaker is giving you a little bit of a discount at 6.5. 66% chance of winning compared to 54.5 for the Magic, which is good. Magic coming in on a 5-game losing streak. You know, this is one of those type of games where all the analytics going to point to the favorite. I'm going to go Orlando here. I'm going to take the Magic. I know the analytics are telling us otherwise, but sometimes you got to buck the trend and go against the grain type thing. And yeah, Orlando does not do well. All the analytics here pointing towards the Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm going to go against a contrarian tonight. I'm going to go contrarian on this one. Give me Orlando plus 6.5, and let's hope my forecast of minus 9.5 should have been the line. And I'm going to go plus 6.5. Give me the Magic tonight against the Bucks. Not to win, but to cover the spread. All right, let's go to Chicago against Miami. Miami played last night, lost a tough one. That was a good game, the Miami Heat against the Minnesota Timberwolves, 106-104. I thought that, you know, it was 5.5 was the line last night, and the hook I thought was going to come into play, but it didn't, and we were able to get the win. Tonight, the Heat going to be a 4.5-point favorite, 226 is the total, and we're going to go with the Miami Heat. 117-113, the over-under at 233, 231.61. I'm going to show you another feature here at the website, ATS, and now I want to see how NBA teams do in back-to-back. I did this with hockey on my hockey video, so we're going to go to today's rest, NBA, and I want to see how teams do in back-to-back game situation. So the best team in back-to-back game situation is the Denver Nuggets, 11-1, 9-3. Where's the Miami Heat? Look at that. Miami Heat, 7-4, 6-5 ATS. Pretty good, and 3-8 to the under. All right, that's what I was looking for right there. Let me see what the totals tell us. 231.3, so it tells us to go over. Chicago Bulls, let me see how their defense is the last 5 games. Giving up 125 points per game. Wow. Too much. Let me see on the season. Miami Heat giving up on average 120, so they're giving up way too many points of late, so that kind of takes me off the under. And the Chicago Bulls in Miami, last 10, 4-6 straight up, 5-5 ATS, 6-4 to the over-under. But the Miami Heat don't cover well against the Bulls. Look at that, 3-7 at home this year. They're 15-13 straight up and ATS. Always amazing how that works. 19-9 to the over. I don't know. This is a really tough one. It's you know, you got a team that played last night, and anytime you got a home team, just like the Raptors, minus 3.5 to 6-point home favorite, 15-8-1 to the over. You know what? I'm going to go over the total. I'm going to go with the over tonight between the Heat and the Chicago Bulls. All right, let's go to Boston against the LA Lakers. Should be a good one tonight at the Gardens in Beantown. You got the Boston Celtics, a 7.5-point favorite. 227 is the total, and we're going to lean with the Boston Celtics in this one. 118-110, the over-under at 228.98. So we do like this game to go over the total. Both teams are 8-2 straight up in their last 10, 7-3. And you know what, Luka now at the Lakers, this game just got a little bit more interesting tonight in Boston. I kind of like the Lakers here at plus 7.5. Let me see how they do in Boston. 4-6 last 10, and how they doing of late. So let's take a look at their last 3 games. They're 3-0, averaging 109 points, giving up 108. And then the last 5, giving up 106. And the Celtics, they're scoring just as many points as the Lakers and giving up just as many points. Look at that, exactly 108.67, 113 last 5. I'm going to go Lakers here. I'm going to take the Lakers, and I'm going to think it's going to be the Luka Doncic show tonight. Doncic show. So I'm going to go Luka with the Lakers with LeBron over the Boston Celtics. Give me Lakers plus 7.5 tonight against the Celtics. All right, let's go to Golden State, where the Detroit Pistons are going to be in town, taking on the Warriors. Another good game here on the West Coast tonight. And Golden State's going to be a 6.5-point favorite. 233.5 is the total. I'm going to go with Golden State by 117-116. The over-under at 233.5. So we do like this game to go a hair over the total. Look at that, 233.56. Golden State and the Pistons are both 8-2 straight up in the last 10. The Pistons a little bit better on the point spread, 8-2 compared to 7-3 for the Warriors. 6-4 to the over for Detroit, 5-5 for the Warriors on the over-under. I had minus 6.6, and look at that, the bookmaker 6.5, so we're both on the same page. Chance of winning on the Pistons, 50%. Chance of covering very low for both teams, 38 and 37 respectively. And Golden State coming in on a 3-game win streak. What about strength of schedule? 40.8 and wow, 14.2. Yeah, so Golden State coming in on a cupcake schedule here, last 7 games. Let me see who they played here. So they played Brooklyn, New York, Charlotte, Philly, Orlando. Yeah, so they're not coming in battle tested for this one. I'm going to go Pistons here. I'm going to take Detroit plus 6.5. And let me see how they do. They don't do that great in Detroit, straight up 3-7. I mean, in Golden State, but they're 6-4 ATS. So I'm going to go with the Detroit Pistons plus 6.5 tonight against Golden State, and let's see if we can get that covered. All right, folks, don't forget, you can get the free Raymond Report today, the game between Brooklyn and Charlotte. Go to the front page if you're using a mobile device. It's a nice scroll now, so you don't have to pinch and zoom out and zoom in. You get a nice format here for you on a platform on your mobile device, and look at that system right there. Anytime you got a road favorite of 3.5 to 6 during the month of March after a non-conference game on 1 day's rest, and they're coming off 2 overs, that road team is 20-4 and 15-7-2 ATS, and those are the stats and trends you get each and every day right here, ATSstats.com. Good luck.